Here this morning it's 7:29, and this is a converted hive deep that I've made a swarm trap out of. Now you can kind of make it out. You see those holes that are at the top, those are for when I'm utilizing this hive deep as a Vore type quilt box. I didn't want to store them. You use those quilt boxes in the wintertime, and I didn't want to store this thing all summer. So I thought I'd make some swarm traps out of these boxes. And all of these are old ratty deeps that the corners are going bad on. Not really great. From this angle, it appears that one top front corner looks pretty good, but trust me, they were all pretty bad. These have holes in the front and they hold 5 frames each. I know that a lot of people on the internet, they all talk about these things being 10 to 12 feet up off the ground. And initially this year I started out doing that. And the first couple traps that I took down that were full of bees and I was up a ladder, I thought I might just try something a little bit different. I've been catching bees. The second and third swarms that actually came into my traps came in to traps that I had sitting on a sink that we used to clean vegetables out of the garden. It was only 3.5, 4 feet off the ground, so I decided to try to start hanging these a little bit lower. The bees don't seem to mind. I found a lot of bee trees where the bees go in very much lower than 10 to 12 feet off the ground, like what most of the resources on the internet say about swarm trapping. On the inside of this box there's 5 frames, 4 of which were non-foundation, foundationless frames that I got from Walter Kelly Company. One frame did have some drawn out comb that was from a dead out over the winter. I froze those dead outs in March and then put them into deeps that I had covered with contractor grade trash bags so that the moths couldn't get to them. So what happens is you freeze the thing and that kills all your eggs and any viable living moths, and then you after that you can store them indefinitely, as far as what I've been able to find, without any problems from those wax moths. So 5 frames in there. There's a plywood top, a plywood bottom, and these just hang in the tree. I did also put a couple drops of lemongrass oil on the inside of the box. Initially I had started putting it in a plastic bag like I had seen on the internet, but I have since then I just put a little piece of burlap in there and have that I put it on top of the frames and drop a couple drops on there, and that burlap seems to be bringing them in. This is the 4th swarm I've caught with this trap this summer. Out of the 4 I caught, 3 of them stayed. I found that bees will come to your swarm traps and they may leave. I don't know why that is yet. I just started out doing that this year, but they do leave sometimes, and it's a little bit discouraging. But you can tell a difference, and I know you can't hear that on this camera, but there is a distinctive hum that the bees have when they're in a box and they're queen right in there. I will move the camera a little bit closer to see if the mic can pick that up. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a specific drone there, and by drone I mean tone, that I've come used to hearing in queen right hives that are trapped in these swarms, and they'll do that for 3 or 4 days. And then after that, you'll begin to see them working. I don't know why, or what exactly that means, other than to me it says that there's queen in there. So that is Hive Deep Swarm Trap, just a way to reuse something that you have and it's not able to perform its initial function. You can see on the side of that box there's white dimples. That is wax from an absolutely massive swarm that I caught back in May. They coated the tree and they coated the box, and it's remained on there. I think that's one of the reasons why this box has been a pretty good producer for me this summer. So don't go out and buy bees for $100. If you can get with an old time beekeeper or somebody who's got a lot of woodenware around, you may be able to get one of these old deeps bought pretty cheap. They're totally coated on the inside with propolis, and it smells like bees. Seems to bring them in a lot better than using old scrap wood. I did that also, and the difference in trapping rates has been noticeable enough that using these deeps seems to be really good, and you don't have to be real high up off the ground, as you can see. This is right here. This is the second group of bees that this is caught right here at this location. So don't be messing around with ladders. Don't spend a bunch of money, and you can keep bees.